Hey, TikTok, Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. And we're also live on YouTube at youtube.com/Dallas Trading Floor. And we're also live on Periscope, pscp.tv/Dallas Trading Floor. And we're live on Twitch. So there we go. We're on several platforms. It looks like I am a little bit slow. The uptake on the live online seems to be a bit slow, but it hasn't completely gone haywire yet. Still having those bandwidth issues, but hopefully that will move forward. So let's get started. Well, just kind of want to show you the condition of the market, how it's moving. And currently it's moving, it's been kind of, it seems to be stuck right there below 10,000. And, but that's good. I mean, the S&P is down, the Dow Jones is down, but just slightly. But the NASDAQ seems to be holding its own. So that is a very, very good sign. We are definitely in a confirmed market uptrend. So that is, definitely something that is important, because we don't like to buy stocks if they are not in a confirmed uptrend. Now, if the direction changes, that's when you want to move into cash and, possibly firm up some positions. But right now we have a green light because the market is in a confirmed uptrend. So that's a very important thing that we're seeing. So let me kind of give you the volatility. Now, this is an interesting chart here. This is actually a chart of the VIX. I'm probably sure you've probably heard of the VIX. And the VIX is basically the volatility index. And basically it shows how volatile the market is. Now, it did spike basically at the beginning of the week. The VIX spiked, and as you can see, this is spiked down, but it seems to be moving down to the 50-day moving average. This is that red line that you can see. By the way, for everybody that's looking on TikTok, maybe you could just jump over so I can show you the charts at pscp.tv/Dallas Trading Floor. And by the way, my charts are available if you sign up for the trade alerts. I'm going to be sending out the slide sets hopefully as well. But the trade alerts typically, I'm sending them out, basically when I'm making a trade, I'm trying to send it out to share it with everyone. And it's really easy to get on the list. It's totally free. It's www.Dallas Trading Floor, and then it just says, sign up, and just sign up there, and we'll get it right out to you. It's absolutely no obligation on that at all. And it's so you can see kind of the trades that I'm making. But anyways, talking about this volatility, it is down a little bit, which is kind of interesting. You would have thought that it was going up, but it does appear that the market seems to be stabilizing somewhat, even with some of the issues that we've been having, with the coronavirus. Here in Texas, the coronavirus seems to be picking up. So you just don't know what's going on there, but the volatility of the market is definitely moving down. I also want to show you the put to call ratio. Now, what this is that typically more calls are bought than puts. But when there are more puts bought than calls, that's when it signals that signals a bottoming in the market. And as you can see, we're under the 1.15 ratio, which means that we're definitely, it doesn't look like the market's going to change direction, right? At least right now, it looks as if we're going to continue on the path that we're going. Now, the amount of increase may slow, but the amount of increase may be slowing a little bit. But the volatility is definitely down, but we're definitely still in an upward trending market, as you can see by this chart. So this is a kind of a good chart to look at. It is not time yet. I have been waiting to see if there would be a retest of the lows in the market, but that doesn't seem to be the case, at least for right now. So It's a very interesting thing. I don't think it's going to be retesting the lows right now. So the put to call ratio basically tells you that. The next thing I want to show you basically several stocks that I've been sort of kind of trying to show here that I think have some very good potential. And one of them, of course, is this company that I've sort of been talking about for a while, symbol ZYXI. It's up today, 24.51. This is the kind, if you don't want to play in some of the bigger cap stocks, and this might be a way to go as well. This is a this stock is being very much accumulated by the funds, so definitely one worth looking at. It's got very, very strong relative strength at 98. It's got a 99 composite rating. This is basically just a winner right now, and it is being acquired by a lot of the funds. Again, it's not not relatively expensive stock at 24.51, and it definitely has a very good chart pattern. As you can see with these blue lines, there is a lot of buying pressure. This is mostly blue down here with the volume, and that's definitely something that you want to look at, because that is what is going to move this higher. So ZYXI, it's probably a good idea to take a look at it as well. Now, I want to show you several stocks. I've updated this list. This is what the funds are buying. Here's what I try to do when I'm trying to find a new stock. I'm like a little minnow. I'm following along behind a whale, and I want to see where this whale goes, and I want to see what this whale is eating. And right now, the big funds, are basically doing this. By the way, interesting stock came on the market on this list today, and that was Redfin. I don't know if you're familiar with Redfin or not. I'm not familiar with. I don't. You might not be familiar with Redfin, but it's essentially like Zillow in the real estate sector. I don't quite know why it's up so much, but it is being acquired by the funds. So I think there's definitely something there to look at. And of course, some of the other ones that I've highlighted before are in there as well. GMAB being the Danish company that I really, really like. It's off a little bit today, down about $1.20, but it definitely is being acquired by a lot of the bigger funds. So definitely something to take a look at. This is the stock. This is the chart on Redfin, and I wanted to kind of show you the chart on Redfin. This is the kind of chart you want to buy. It's not only is the market in a confirmed trend, this stock is in a confirmed uptrend. As you can see, it's moved well beyond the 50-day moving average here, and it's powering. It looks like to new highs. Now, how far will this go? Well, who knows? But I do think that once it breaks this resistance here, and as you can see, it's moving down and then it's moving back up, but it's still got a 94 relative strength, which is extremely powerful. It's exceeding all but 6% of stocks in the market in its move. So very, very powerful. This is right before a breakout. This stock is likely to break out based on this chart. Now, can you totally 100% predict a breakout? No, but when you're buying a stock, it's a good idea if you could find a stock that is in a pattern that is going to have a potential breakout, and that's definitely the pattern here. So Redfin, RDFN, is the one on that one. Okay, just getting to the trade of the day. By the way, I'm sending out this on the alerts. I sent out this trade to everybody on the alerts list. These are the kind of trades I like to do. I like to find a stock that is right at or a little bit below the buy point, and then I like to purchase that stock and then sell an option on it so that I protect my gain. In this one, this is a 29-day trade on basically a medical software company. The name of the company is Veeva Systems. Symbol is VEEV. This is a very interesting stock because the pharma companies, the people that create that are creating coronavirus vaccines, 85% of the ones in the world use this software. So they've got a tremendous market share. It's called Veeva Systems is the name on the company. And here's basically how it basically lines out, and that is and that is it's you basically buy 100 shares of the stock. I just did this morning. I bought 100 shares. I then sold a contract. Now, in my example here, the contract was only yielding $580. When I sold this contract, just between when I put this together and when I sold it, the contract had doubled in value. I got about $1,000 for that contract. But in this case, this gives it a little bit more upward potential. But this will produce about 99%. This will produce about 99% in a month. Now, is it guaranteed? No, it's never guaranteed, but there's a very high likelihood. So basically, how the trade works: you buy 100 shares of VEEV, you sell one call option, July 17th, 240 strike, and then you set a stop loss at 211.49. If the stock goes above 240, you make $1,800. If it doesn't make that, you still keep the premium, which is $580. And if it goes below that, you're sold out with your stop loss at $211. But you remember, you buy back the call, and that lowers your potential loss there. So this is a very high likelihood trade. What I like to do is I like to make lots of high likelihood trades that will cash out in between 30 days, between a week and 30 days. That's typically how I like to handle that. So I am going to go to questions. I've yammered on here. So the first question, BC stock. Okay, that's interesting. Let me see if I can get something for BC on that. BC, okay. I gotta get a quote there. Yeah. Brunswick. Okay, Brunswick Corp, 90. Wow, this is a good chart. Yeah, this is a very good chart. Makes marine engines. Okay. By the way, very good. I like this one. I like this chart. I really do. Let me see if I can. Yeah, there we go. I very much do like this chart. It's definitely moving up. It's got a nice handle here, and even though it's down today, I think that this is definitely a buyable chart, no question. Very, very good. Thank you for sharing that with us. I appreciate it very, very much. Okay, so next question. Can you suggest a shot on TDoc is a good investment? Okay, yeah, Teladoc. This is an interesting company because actually Teladoc, I believe, and let me see if I can show you the chart on the Teladoc stock. So let's look at that one. TDOC. Interestingly enough, I was looking in on some of the LinkedIn things. They're actually hiring a lot of people actually here in the Dallas area. So I don't know if it's a Dallas company or not. I'm not sure, but I think it's really, really good. I think it is sort of the future when it comes to office visits, because it's so, it's such a smart idea. You don't have to go into the doctor. You just do the teledoc, and then they can do this. If it's serious, then you go in. I do like this chart. It's a little bit low on the relative strength, but that's typical of companies that are just breaking out. And by the way, I want to show you, Teladoc is number 4 in the medical software group. The one I showed you the trade on just a few minutes ago is VEEV, Veeva Systems. So you can see this is a very good group. I really like this group. I think that this is definitely going higher. There's no question about it. There's one little thing I want to caution you about. Try to buy this. If you're going to buy this, buy it before. Don't buy it and hold it through earnings. I know that sounds very strange, but one of the things that you learn is that if you hold a stock through earnings, even if there's good earnings, sometimes it can change the numbers on it. So if I was going to do a short-term trade, I'd buy it, but I would sell it probably before the 31st, and I'd wait to see how the earnings went, and then I would get back in. But this is a very good stock, and even though it has it has good debt levels, 43% is not bad. Its sales are increasing last quarter. Definitely has a lot of things I really like, but one of the things here, and this really to point out, is the industry group is 5, which is that's really really good. So let's see for TikTok, Jim. I hope you're doing the right thing. Can you please suggest a good book to scrutinize balance? I don't know exactly what. I don't think I got that right. Okay. What do you think about the airlines? Okay. Here's the thing about the airlines. I know, God, I sound negative, but I just don't think you want to be in the airlines right now. I do think that, there is a snapback rally, but the problem with the airlines is that, this coronavirus thing, unfortunately, hasn't been licked yet. So I just see them having issues with, I just see them having issues with, with the coming back. So I don't like the charts, but let's see if we can find a good chart that I can show you for an airline. If you want to be in the airlines, let me see if I can find one that is not too horrible. That's probably going to be Southwest, but let me just look at American Airlines here to look at the chart on that. I'm not currently buying in the airlines area just because it's a tough group. Yeah. Okay. All right. The number one, if you're going to be buying in the airlines, you want to be possibly looking at SkyWest. And let me show you the chart on SkyWest here. It's I think we're going to get the chart here. Yeah, there we go. Here's the problem with the airlines. You notice how they moved up very, very nicely here. And by the way, for everybody on TikTok, I'm simulcasting this on YouTube at youtube.com/DallasTradingFloor and on Periscope, pscp.tv /DallasTradingFloor, and on Twitch. I'm on Twitch too. This moved up very nicely, but then it came right back down to the 50-day moving average. So the airline group just doesn't appeal to me. I think there's easier ways to make money in this market than the airlines group. I'm not berating it. I just don't think it's the easiest way to make money. I think it's easier to go in and buy the medical software companies like Veeva Systems or Teladoc was an excellent call, by the way. Stocks like that. Also, I'm going to show you other stocks that are a lot cheaper than this that have a lot better patterns. Okay. One of the things that you want to be super careful on when you do buy is you want to be buying something that is going to have high likelihood of success. And I like Redfin right now, and I also like this stock. I've always liked this stock, and this is another stock to watch list. Very strong. It's called Form Factor. Is the name of the company. It's in the electronic space. It's 29.77. It's down a little bit today, but it's got a 98 composite rating, and the chart is excellent. So that's the one you might want to look at as well. I think I prominently put up there. It's called Form, FORM is the symbol on Form Factor. So that's kind of an interesting one that you might want to take a look at there. I'm currently not in Form, but I'm looking possibly to reallocate some money to it because I do think it's a good chart. Let's see. Like the BC chart, okay. Yeah, BC. Oh, can you see? Let me look at the BC. What do you think about Spotify? Spotify, here's the thing about Spotify. I'm not I did buy, just for full disclosure, I had Spotify for like 2 days. I bought it on the IPO. I normally don't do that. And then I sold it. So I haven't had Spotify for a while. Yeah, it's an 85. It's strong. It's moved up very, very powerfully. But let's look at the number one in the group, ARCE, and see if that gives us a better number. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Brazilian. That's interesting. Okay. See, I don't know this one at all, but this is that's very interesting. I don't know this company, but it's a Brazilian company. So let me see if I can show you. Yes. Let me show you the chart on Spotify here, Arnold. This is the chart on Spotify. It's excellent. Look at that. Look at that gap up. Very nice. It may be the one. But I also like in this space. I like Siri, SIRI. It's a much cheaper stock. It's a little bit harder to play. Sirius XM. It's only a $6 stock. It's got a 77 composite rating. It's much cheaper. I do believe it's going to bounce off the 50-day moving average, so I do think it's a potentially good one. This is if you want to play more of a lottery ticket type play, where you're going to buy a fair number of shares and then watch it go up. Set the top stop losses tight on this one. I definitely think you can make money on this one. Sirius XM, SIRI is the symbol on that one. So let's see. Back to the next question. Oops, person. Oh, didn't get my comment. Okay, made a few bucks. All right. Thank you, Arnold, for bringing that forward. Glad you made some money. It's always good if you make some money. And Sirius and Spotify is an excellent company. It's got a very nice chart, so I think that's awesome. It's awesome that you made money on that one. I think that's killer. Okay, so let's see. Tesla, my old favorite. By the full disclosure, I have Tesla right now. I've been in Tesla. I bought 100 shares of Tesla on Monday at 143. I think it's about I think it's trading at about 1,000 right now in 5 days. So I think it depends on how well it holds for tomorrow. But Tesla's one of my all-time favorite plays because I think that it's very pricey. That's the problem with it. Yeah, it's at $1,000, up $8. So let's show you the chart on Tesla. I think it's very instructive. You see that this is kind of the chart pattern that I love. I was trying to show you other chart patterns that are essentially like this. They're moving above the 40-day moving average, high relative strength, and good conviction in the buying, and that's what it looks like here. It looks like Tesla moved up slightly below 1,000 last week. It looks like it's moving north of 1,000 right now, and that's amazing. I think the fact that Tesla is hit 1,000 is probably its next stop is probably going to be 1,200. I can't. You never can tell with Tesla. Tesla's a very, very volatile stock, but it just you can't seem to keep it down. It's just been unbelievable. Yeah, earnings per share, and of course the reason this is such a big number is that before this last quarter they weren't positive. They went positive. That's really what popped the stock, and amongst other things. I mean, it's many things with Tesla that are making it really, really desirable. All right, cool. So let's see. Okay. Any advice on books to learn about financial statements? Oh, and balance sheets. Okay. Well, I started my career now a long time ago at a company called KPMG Pete Marwick, and it's an accounting firm. Basically, God, is there a really good book on balance sheets and accounting? Rich Dad Poor Dad actually is not bad. I mean, just for basics. But basically, when you buy a stock, you are buying the equity. Now, what does that mean? Well, that's after everything has been. After all the liabilities have been taken care of. So, equity positions in companies are relatively risky because they don't guarantee that you're going to get paid back your money. That's why many people they buy what they call preferred stock, which has a dividend that is guaranteed. It's usually it's like 10% or something like that. And you buy the preferred stock, and you always get your dividend. And if the company goes bankrupt, you are higher up in the liquidation. Equities are whatever was left over. So this is why coming into a period like we're going to come into, where we have essentially a deflation, where the values of things are coming down, high debt loads are very, very much of a problem. This is one of the reasons why I am not as bullish on the airline sector as I'd like to be. It's because of this. High debts typically in a falling revenue environment equal a problem. So, but learning how to read a balance sheet is really, really, really useful because you can, there's two ways you can do it. There's two ways you can look at a stock. One of them, of course, is technical. I use a lot of technical analysis, basically chart patterns, but also fundamental analysis, which is basically looking at debt load, turns, and that kind of thing. And so that's a great way to go. But let me get back to you on a really easy to use, quick book on accounting that is no more than a few pages, because it's really not that complicated. And accounting schools make it way too difficult for people, I think, just because they want a full employment act. So who knows on that. Anyways, so Facebook has been having a lot of resistance this month. Good question. Yeah, this is really good. I'm going to show you the chart of Facebook. I think you're right. I sold out of Facebook basically Friday a week ago. I had options that were called on Facebook. I think here's the thing about Facebook. Facebook was undervalued. And now you're right. It's trading in a range. It looks like the range is going from about 226 on up. So it's about an 8 range. It's still really good. It's number one in its group, and I want to show you the chart because it's still a very good chart. It's a very viable chart still, even now. You see, what's happening is when you see this kind of action here. This is a handle. It's called a handle pattern. This kind of action will shows that there's possibly going to be a breakout here. Now, here's how we can find out where that breakout will be. We take a look at the options on it, and I'm going to just bring that up really quickly to analyze the options on Facebook to see kind of where we're at in terms of, is it going to pop? Is it not going to pop? That's the thing. So I'm going to be looking at the. Let's look at the. Okay, see if I can put this up here for you. This is the. Okay, this is the July. I want to look at the July options about a month out to see kind of what the sentiment is on Facebook. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of buying. Okay, actually, yeah, this is it. Good question on Facebook. Good question on Facebook. I'm going to show you the options chain on Facebook here really quickly. This is basically the July 17th call. It's trading for $7. It's down a little bit. This is a strong call. This is at 240 at the 240 strike price, and basically currently it's selling for 235. So this is saying very strongly that the options market are basically saying that there is a very high likelihood. Basically a very high likelihood that the price of Facebook in 30 days will be approximately this strike price, $7 plus the plus this. So this is predicting about a 245, 243, 240 to 245 price in 30 days. And that's something that there is a lot of resistance, but it just looks like it is going to be breaking out. So I don't think you should necessarily take this one off your list. I do think Facebook is going to move to a higher trading level and going to move out of the resistance. Okay. Tesla analysts are saying that 12 to 1200 unbelievable. I was buying puts, got crushed. Yeah, this is something that you got to be really careful with Tesla. You got to be super duper careful with Tesla, because I don't think you should go against the tape on Tesla. It's too difficult. I think it's going to move higher to 1200. I don't think you don't really want to I think that you want to be buying calls, or selling calls, but you don't want to be. I don't think you want to be buying puts on this one. I just don't. It's just too powerful. It's too powerful to go against the resistance. Facebook has been having a lot of resistance. Absolutely, it has. I showed that twice, didn't I? Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay, so do you teach how to read charts? Well, I'm going to be doing some stuff of that. If you can. What I'm going to try to do on my trade alerts is I'm going to have another alerts for kind of chart of the day, looking at the chart, that kind of thing, what it means. And you can get that basically by going to www.Dallas Trading Floor and just put it, just put your email address in there, and I'll get the stuff out to you, trade alerts, and then I'm going to start doing some educational stuff there too, and then hopefully do a little bit of a kind of a coaching call on. I've got a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of irons in the fire, but a coaching call for like the weekend, so that you can get ready for the week and see how the charts are saving up. At least from my perspective, and that way, make some money, because that's what it's about, right? How do Cameo get? How do you get the trade alerts? Oh, it's super easy. Let me just throw up. And by the way, for everybody out there that is looking on Periscope, pscp.tv/Dallas Trading Floor. Here is basically it's just the free alerts, Dallas Trading Floor, and just type it into your iPhone or and then it'll just come right up, Dallas Trading Floor, and just put your name and information in there, and we'll get you right on the list, and it's free, and we don't sell a list or anything like that. So this is just so that I can find out what people are really interested in. It helps me as a trader because everybody it's kind of crowdsourcing a lot of good trade ideas, especially like, by the way, the one that you brought up about Teladoc, TDoc today. That was really good. I really appreciate that kind of info. So it's kind of hopefully a self-help club, where we can both help each other out. I can show you what I'm doing, and then sometimes I can't look at every price in the market. The market is just too big for one person to look at everything. So I really appreciate when you come in with stuff to take a look at. So I really, really appreciate that. Okay, so let's see. Okay. Okay. Oh, we got some more comments. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man, David. Appreciate it. Hey, it's super easy to learn how to do this. This is not rocket science, believe me. What Elon Musk does with SpaceX is a heck of a lot more difficult to do than this. This isn't that hard. You learn about 7 chart patterns, and you kind of get an idea of how stocks, what kind of action you have on them, and it's just amazing. You can use that, and it just over and over again, rinse and repeat, and you can make a really nice incomes on that if you can. Is it a good time to invest in Costco? Costco, that's interesting. I'm normally not a fan of the retailers, but Costco is sort of in a different category. It's probably the best of the retailers. Let's see if I can show you a chart on Costco. And of course, I should know this offhand. The symbol on that is COST, cost. It's a relatively expensive stock, good stock, very well run, excellent management. So there we go. There's the Costco, chart. So here's the thing on the Costco chart. It's fallen below the 40-day moving average. It's not buyable currently in its state. This is another thing too. You want to be really careful when you enter a stock trade, because this can kind of ruin your day sometimes if you enter a trade when the stock is trending down. That is definitely the case here with Costco. You can see the relative strength is a 36. Hey, that's not good. You want to see a 90 in here for the relative strength. The reason that Costco has a 36 relative strength, it's not because it's a bad company. It's a great company. It's just in the retail sector, and right now, with the economy closed down the way it is, this is not a sector that's being that's really where you want to be. As you can see, it's dropped below the 50-day moving average, and it's also dropped below the 200-day moving average. This chart tells me it's probably going lower. I'm looking at this one to go to 280. So if you were to buy it now at 300 in about a month and a half, you're probably looking at giving up about 20 points. You're looking at giving it, I think it's going to be about 380. It's looking to be about 380 in about a month and a half. That's what I'm looking at, basing it on this chart. You can't always tell 100% of the time, but I wouldn't buy this chart, at least right now. It's just not the time to buy Costco. But I appreciate the comment. I appreciate the I appreciate I appreciate the opportunity to take a look at that. So let's see. That's interesting. What's this? Okay, cool. Edit at. Oh, stop. Oh, okay. I don't know what that is. Very cool. Am I not? I hope I am on. Hopefully I'm online here with everyone. Yeah. So. Okay. So, all right. Square. I like Square. Let me take a look at Square. It's SQ. On that one. This is a from TikTok. That's Square. I do like Square. I do like Square. And I will definitely call. By the way, my phone number, if you want to call, is 214-233-5087. And I do take calls as well. So let's look at Square. I'm going to show you the chart for Square here. Very nice chart. Very, very, very nice chart. Look at this. Look at this. This is another thing this is another very good thing on the chart. By the way, I'm primacasting this on YouTube and on Periscope at pscp.tv/StellusTradingFloor and on YouTube at youtube.com/StellusTradingFloor. So let me see if I can show you this chart. This is the chart of Square. And it is just moving very, very nicely. Whenever the 50-day moving average crosses the 200-day moving average, that typically is very, very bullish. And that means that the stock is probably moving higher, and definitely it has. Excellent volume here. Yeah, this is a total winner. This is a total winner. Let's look at the debt load on it to just check to make sure that everything is okay. And that's Square, and it looks like it is definitely setting up very nicely. Yeah. This is a fabulous stock. We just closed. It's up after hours. 97 composite rating. This stock is going higher. This stock. Yeah, it's number one in this group. Yeah. Everything is there. Square, definitely put it on your watch list. It is going higher. Just no question about it. Square is gonna, Square's gonna looking to go higher. There's just no question. So that's one. I definitely like the way that's trading. All right, so BA covered call. Have a $11 to $14 2-week, right? Okay, let me look at the BA covered call. There, I can give you kind of an idea on it. And we're looking out at about let's see, on BA. This of course is Boeing. That might, there's a lot of interest in Boeing. Okay, so we're looking at about a July. Let's look at the July night. July 19th. Yeah, I just don't think the risk reward is there for this one long. Thanks I really thank you for the comment, but I don't think there's just more. You can make better money on other options on this. The 192.50 call, the June 19th. That's the one that ends basically this week. It's not. Yeah, it's paying 3. Okay, so let's go out to July. Just look at the July 17th. If the risk reward is there. So let's do that really quick. Hopefully this will change. Still having issues on bandwidth. So let me switch back here. Wow. Okay, I take that back, Long. You're right. This is sweet. This is a sweet deal. 1720. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Long. Yeah. Here's the thing: buy 100 shares of Boeing, sell the 195 July 17th call, and you're going to pick up some seriously nice change. 1720 on this call. Here's the thing. Here's what I'm trying to do. Whenever I see a call like this, I love these calls. What I like to do is I like to sell these calls, because even if it goes above the strike price and I have to sell, I'm still making just this tremendous theta decay. This tremendous money. 100, one contract of this is paying $1,720. Absolutely super. I was looking at July 2nd or July. Okay, well let's look a little bit prior to that. Yeah, that's bad. The July 2nd is also on fire. You know what? I tell you, man, I would sell the 192.50 or the 190. That's what I would do. Wow, great. You know what? You've given me inspiration here. I may do this one on Monday. My Tesla, it looks like it's going to be called out. I sold a 945 call, but it was rich, but it's trading at 1,000, so I'm going to get called out. But that is great. That is just, yeah, man, that's excellent, Long. Fantastic. Thank you so much for that that heads up. And again, that's why I love doing the show, because there are people out there like Long that are just, pretty savvy, and that's a real savvy call. I wasn't looking in that part of the market, so I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you so much, Long. Appreciate it. That's a great play. Buy the shares, sell the 190 to 192.50 strike, July 2nd, and that's a winner. That's a winner. Long on Shopify. I would be long on Shopify too. Shopify. I don't know if you saw this. You probably did. Shopify announced an agreement with Walmart. So I think Shopify is also just, you want to make some money, buy some Shopify. This is great. SHOP is the symbol on it. And let me pull that up on the, look at that. Wow. It's up $40 today. This is just insane. This is kind of, this is a Tesla compatible here. This is a Tesla compatible. So even if the market reopens, you just look at this chart. This is just unbelievably good chart. I would be long. I would definitely be long in Shopify. I would consider selling some call options against it, just because you want to lock in your gains. But this is a beautiful, beautiful chart. There we go. You see this cupping here? You've got a cup and then a handle. What this is saying is that it's getting ready to pop and move up. This may move easily above 900, Shopify. So yeah, I'd be long. I can't be. There's so much to buy that I can't buy because it's limited. But this is an excellent one. And what about Nikola? Totally on the technicals, I think Nikola looks good. I'm a little bit concerned. There's certain things I'm concerned about Nikola long term, because I don't know. I just they haven't produced any vehicles yet. But I don't know. Let me look at it. Nikola NKLA, and let me look at the chart on Nikola. Look at that. Okay, it's settling. Okay, good. It's settling a little bit down. So I'm going to show you this chart here just a second. There we go. And there is the chart for Nikola. It's looking okay. Yeah, this is the merger here, and then it came up, and then there's a blow off top. This is the short squeeze, and now we're getting this is called railroad tracks here. Now, here, let me explain about railroad tracks. This is a chart pattern called railroad tracks. See how it's kind of like railroad tracks here? This chart pattern has a high propensity to drop drastically. So I think that there's going to be a further correction in Nikola. It's currently trading above 60. I think in 2-3 weeks, we're looking at it being, probably in the 40 range, but it has a very high relative strength. I think it's going to settle, but I don't think it's going to settle at this level. So this is what they call railroad tracks, and it does pretend that there is going to be a movement either drastically up or drastically down. I'm figuring it's going to be down a little bit because it's going to come closer to the 50-day moving average. It doesn't mean it's going to go out of business or it's going to go away, but in this chart pattern, I think that there's a high likelihood that in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it's going to drop. Now, once it finds its strength, then and finds a range, then it's probably going to be better. But I'd be a little bit careful with Nikola with looking at this chart pattern the way I'm seeing it now. So, that's that's it. And I have that's interesting. Okay, you have a play on this is long. Just you're just crushing it. You're coming up with some great trade ideas. This is a trade on Delta Airlines, which, if you're going to be in any of the airlines, it's definitely one of the best. So let me look at DAL. Let me look at the option chain for DAL. For Delta Airlines, see if I can give you a good idea on that. And you're looking at the July 17th and 24th expirations. So let's look at that. July 17th. Let's just look at the July 17th. That's the major one. By the way, everyone out there, options typically, most options are monthly options, and they expire basically the third week of the month on Friday. But there are some stocks that have weekly options which expire every Friday. So those typically are the bigger stocks. Those can be a little bit better. For making money now, for some reason it's not pulling up my. I'm having difficulties with bandwidth as usual. I've got to figure that out. All right, it's just not letting me see that. But I'm looking at the June 28th here. It's not bad either. Let me get back to you on that when I get my my machine. Let's see if I can bring that up on my machine here. Let's see. There we go. And this is a very interesting one, Long. I appreciate it. And this is on Delta Airlines, DAL. Okay. There we go. Now it's starting to cook. Okay, so waiting. Okay, great. All right. And the 17th. Wow, that's $3. That is, wow, that's strong. Yeah, that's an excellent play. Here's the thing, Long. If I was doing a covered call on this, I would go for the July 17th expiration as opposed to the 24, the 30. Is the 24. A 32 call on that is going to yield $3. Yeah, that is excellent. That is a winner. Wow, that's a very good play there. Very, very good play. Let me show you that on the screen so what I'm talking about here, so you can see it. This is the 32 call. It's the July. It's the July. It's July 24th 32 call for $6.64, which, based on the selling price of the issue, the selling price of the issue is $30.79. So that's approximately 8%. That is an 8% premium over a period of less than about a month. That is a very, very powerful. That's a very good. That's a very, very good return. That, if it works out, that will net you basically about 125% annum on that. So that's a very, very good call. Hey, and thanks for appreciate it. So let's see. Let's go to TikTok. What stock are we talking about? I'm sorry. It was a question from Long Nguyen, and this I was showing this on the Periscope feed, pscp.tv/Dallas Trading Floor, and I'm actually showing the charts. The stock I was talking about here is Delta Airlines, DAL, and most of the airline stock, and I got a question on airline stocks earlier, and I said, well, I'm not investing in the area, and that's true, but it does seem that based on this options action, that a lot of people are going to be moving into this space. A lot of funds are, and that's why this option is selling at such a premium. And so, if even though SkyWest is the number one in the category, this might be a way to go. At $30.81, it's relatively cheap. I mean, Delta Airlines is relatively cheap. The group is not good, but once it opens back up, this is the quality name. Now, here's the thing you got to understand about this. This was Delta Airlines was the stock that Warren Buffett dumped about 3 weeks ago. So, be very careful with this one because of that. I mean, he looked at it and he said, well, it's a great buy. He went in and he bought it, and then he reversed himself and sold all of his issues. But it does look like it's coming back. Delta Airlines is probably never going to go out of business. It's just too big of an airline. It's too important an airline, and generally speaking, it is on sale. I mean that's the only way to look at it. The best trade though on it is a shorter term trade and not to hold it for longer term, and that's by using the option. And that, like Long Nguyen brought up, and I think I love trading that way because it protects your downside risk. And as you can see, it's moved up. But this is an up trick. This is an upward trending pattern. I do like it. It's above the 50-day moving average. It's below the 200-day moving average. This has motion up. So Delta Airlines, probably the only airline that I've really liked the chart on, and the reason is that this is definitely a viable chart, whereas some of the other ones not so much. Wow. Okay. Is Ligma stock? I don't know Ligma. What is the symbol on that one? Should I buy Ligma stock? Okay. I don't know what that one is. Let me see if I can give you a idea. Ligma, Ligma. I don't know what that is. So let me see if I'm getting that right. Ligma. Okay. All right. Look. Ligma. No results. Are you possibly talking about lithium? Oh, you remember the question. Okay, sorry. Thank you. Thank you, Arnold. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. What do you think about Spotify as a long-term hold? Got in at 180. Wow, that's nice. Okay. Here's the thing, here's the thing I'm going to say about Spotify. I think Spotify definitely. Look at that, 220. Here's what I would do if I got in at 180. I would look at my cost basis on that. I would say, if I bought 100, let's say I bought 100 shares at 180, I would look to see what that expenditure was. I would sell part of my position, and then I would to preserve my capital, but I would ride with the house's money on Spotify. So let's say I bought 100 shares at 180 and it's now 225. Well, that's an increase of about $45 a share. So I would sell enough of my position so that the original cost that I had of buying those 100 shares at 180 would be taken care of. So I would take that money off the table. That's how I would play that. I think that's very good. Excellent, by the way, that that you're in it for the long term. So there you go. Spotify. SPT. Let's look at SPT just real quick here. SPT. And that is Sprouts. No. Sprouts Social? Is that right? Oh, social. I don't know this. I don't know this stock that well. Published analytics performs a platform for business and managed. So I'm going to show you this chart right away here. Let me just put it up on the screen. Here we go. Um, yeah, this is a good chart. This is not a bad chart. I don't know. I can't really tell you on this one. I don't. There's certain things. I think there are better stocks than this. I don't think this is a bad chart at all. But I don't think it's a great chart. I don't think it's a great chart. Let's see what they're ranking as the best in this computer software enterprise group. I think what that would be. Let's see. Yeah, audio codes. Yeah. I think audio codes is where you want to be. I think that's where you want to be. Instead of SPT, you want to be in AUDC. This is a better chart. It's higher ranked, and I think this is probably where you want to be. Yeah, this is where you want to be. AUDC. That's my take on it. Okay. So how do you? What do you use for the option price? What I do is I use the Nasdaq. It's called the symbol on it, and is and I'll just put this post-it for everybody. It's old.nasdaq NASDEQ.com, and that's what I use for the option chain there, so you can see that. But that's what I use for the option price. This is actually the Nasdaq feed. So it's very, very good. You have to accept cookies and all that stuff, but overall, I think this is the best one. It seems to have some of the best price. What I also like about this one is that if you're looking at the option train, take a look at this tab called Most Actives here. And I don't know if you've seen the Nigerians ever on television. They're great. They look at these most actives, and it's a great way to judge kind of what's going. So let's look at, for instance, June 19th. That's Friday, the DAL. What is the most active on there? We're looking at the 33 strike. That's very active. This is going to give you the most active strikes there. So this is a great thing to look at, to judge the sentiment if you're looking at a particular option. So this gives you kind of a way to judge the sentiment, and it's free. So, old.nasdaq.com. So it's a really good tool that you can use. All right. Well, what do you have any thoughts about SWKS as a long term? Okay, so let's look at SWKS here really quickly. SWKS, and that is Skyworks. This. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here's my suggestions on Skyworks. I think it's a good stock. Obviously, Intel's the number one in the space, but I think the one you want to look at instead of this one, Skyworks, is Qorvo. QUR. See, QRVO is the symbol on that. And let me show you this one. It's called Qorvo. So instead of Skyworks, take a look at this one. Instead of Skyworks, take a look at this one that I'm going to show you right here. It's Qorvo. QRVO is the symbol. And what they do is they make a chipset for the new iPhone that's coming out in September, and there are about 6 of these in every iPhone. This stock will do extremely well, I'm predicting, only because of the demand for Apple. It is number 5. It's been coming up steadily on the list. Currently, it's number 5. Intel's number 1, but Intel's a much larger company. 95 composite rating on this. It's a little expensive at 111, but this is the one that you probably want to look at if you're looking at Skyworks. So that's just my opinion. Well, great. I have 5. Oh, I have some more messages. Okay. Well, everybody, always a pleasure. This gets doing all this gets my juices going, and I really appreciate you stopping by. If you want to get on the stock alerts list, it's www.Dallas Trading Floor. Just put in your information, and we'll get it right out to you. It's free. In a good way to go there. It's free, and so basically until tomorrow, lithium stocks. Oh, okay, yeah, there are a bunch of lithium stocks in there. Glencore is probably the one. They just made an acquisition. It's a company in Zug, Switzerland. It was formerly owned by a guy by the name of Mark Rich. And it is probably one of the better ones. It's Glencore, Glencore. Let's see if I can give you a. Let me see if I can give you a symbol on it. Glencore, Glencore. Well, Glencore. I have fat fingers. Yeah, Glencore. Okay, this is a Swiss stock. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so it's not ranked. Glencore PLC, Glency. They're saying it's a petroleum-based stock, but it isn't. They're also in lithium. And that's one you might want to look at. Its symbol is GLNCY on that. Okay, everybody, it's an hour, and I will be back tomorrow on Dallas Trading Floor, and I hope to see you then. So everybody on TikTok, I'm going to sign off, but I will see you tomorrow. And everybody on, and one last question. On the spider, SYY. Oh, okay, very good. Let me take a quick look at SYY here. SYY. I'll get a quote on SYY. Yeah, okay. Cisco. I wouldn't be a buyer of Cisco. I wouldn't be a buyer of Cisco in this market. The reason is it's in the retail space. It's a very good company, but the restaurant sector is down. Don't just buy a stock because it's on sale. Buy a stock that is gonna move higher. Cisco's a very good company. It's a great company to work for. Great company to have as a supplier if you have a restaurant. But I don't perceive this one going all. I mean, I can see this. It's bouncing off the 50-day moving average, which is good. I don't necessarily think it's going to drop much more, but I can't see a lot of upward potential on this one. So that's my opinion on SYY, Cisco Corp. Okay, well, thank you, everybody, and I'm going to go out now.